Like the Q and the Trio before it, the PN-820 is yet another handset that helps Verizon continue its streak as the carrier that launches CDMA Windows mobile phones first. However, unlike those phones, this one doesn't exactly make a good first impression. It looks a bit chintzy and old school. No one's going to mistake this phone for slick. The plastics look a bit cheap and dull, and the hinge, although solid, doesn't exactly exude high quality like some of Verizon's other phones. The hinge also doesn't open all the way, which is great when you're talking because then the phone fits your face, but which also means that you have to hold the phone at a funny angle if you want to read the screen and type at the same time, which of course you're going to want to do since this is a smartphone. On the front is a rather large, clear external display, a 1.3 megapixel camera, and a rather weak flash. On the left is the volume controls and a mini SD slot. This uses mini SD and not micro SD. The top actually houses the manual headphone connection, which is a 2.5 millimeter jack, so you have to use specialized headphones. It's nice that they put it on the top so that you can keep the phone in your pocket the way you normally would while still using the headset. On the right is the camera button and a button that with a quick press takes you to the quick select screen for profiles and such, and with a long press launches the voice recognition software. On the back you can see this rather large section of the phone and then a tiny little battery beneath it. When we first saw this tiny little battery, we thought, oh boy, here's Verizon trying to upsell us into a battery that might last more than a day, especially after our experiences with the Q. But this little battery surprised us, and even this can drive the phone for more than a couple of days, even with heavy data usage. Inside is a rather bright screen and a keypad. Oh, the keypad. It took us way too long to learn to type well with this keypad, despite the fact that we type with these keypads all the darn time. We had problems hitting multiple letters at once and getting multiple presses when we were just trying to press a key once. Our texting was atrocious for like a week. We're used to typing on it. We have to say that the PN-820 is a pretty decent smartphone. It certainly isn't underpowered despite its appearances. We had to slow down our typing a little bit so that we could type accurately on this keypad, but now that we have, we can do a pretty good job. And that's great considering the fact that we want to use this for all of the things you would normally use a Windows mobile smartphone for. This runs version 5, so it has most of the modern features you're looking for, including a full browser. It's fast enough to be able to handle browsing and almost anything else simultaneously. About the only thing it's slow at is starting up the camera, which takes about 4 seconds, a rather annoying length of time. But once the camera's going, it's only a couple of seconds in between each shot, which is pretty fast. The PN-820 has a standard version of Windows Mobile 5 for smartphone, which we've covered plenty of times, so there's no point repeating ourselves. This has enough processor power and memory to be able to speed through almost any task. However, the EVDO seems a bit sluggish when we're reading websites or trying to grab our mail. Pantech clearly put their money in the guts of this phone, and not in its design. And it shows. This phone's a pretty solid workhorse, as long as you type slow enough that it can keep up with you. And if you do, this might be a solid choice for you.